Shalom. This is Brother Shema Basar. Want to start giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, respect and charity to all the teachers that's out there that introduced me to this word. Okay? And love and greetings to all the brothers that's out on the battlefield pushing this word with sincerity and truth, laying their lives down on the front line. Another episode of Performing Arts. This is Brother Shema Basar, and we're gonna get into it. This is quick to the point. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2. And this is the name of this. I'm gonna name is what are you teaching? Are you teaching the commandments of men or the tradition of men? Or are you teaching what's out the Bible? Because the last thing I remembered is that in Revelations, it says that if a man add on to this book or take away from this book, he'll be taken out of the book of life, which is the scriptures. Okay, so if you add on to something because you think that you put an extra zazz to it or extra spin to it, if it ain't in a book and you add it on to it and you're making it a commandment of men or a tradition of men, if it ain't in a book, you add it on to it. Okay. And now some brothers may say that you're not breaking the law if you don't do it. Okay. Now that's true. But are you saying that because it's something that you want to bring out or something that you want to something that you're in a Salakia, an agenda that you're trying to push? You know what I mean? So that's all. And let's go. Let's see. Yeah. So that's why I'm bringing this out. But if it ain't in the law, you ain't breaking the law. Okay, so that's true. All right, so let's start with 1 Timothy chapter 4. And I'm gonna bring 1 to 2. So 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1 to 2. Now the Spirit speak expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith. That latter time is what? These times that we're living in. Okay? These are the latter times. Okay? And then it says, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Okay? That's why you have to check out what you're bringing out. And you have to check out before you condemn other men. Okay? And also, too, now certain things from the old school was a benefit and it was good. But even in the old school, they didn't have everything because new things is coming out as we speak. New inventions, new archaeological evidence and findings that goes with this Bible that they didn't have back then. So now we bring it back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? And this reveals that the truth about Mashiach Yahweh Shah. All right? And that Yahweh, our power, exists. Okay? Even though we already know he exists through the making of men and women. But if you need, more, you know what I'm saying? You look at constellations, you look at the moon and the stars, you look at the new events and evidence, things that scientists is claiming that they're coming up with, but it's already been here. Okay, now we put a more spin on it. Okay, now it says, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Okay, speaking lies. And wait, let's hold on to that. Let's go to a precept with that. Let's go to 2 Timothy 3 verse 13. 2 Timothy 3 verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Now, I touched on this one because I'm not going to say no names, but there were certain camps that brothers would, give shout outs to, and even at one time I thought that the brothers was really great because I would call them, say even all the house of Israel, the tabernacles should be the church of Bethlehem. Was it the church of Bethlehem I called them? Well, anyway, it's the church it's the tabernacle that search out all things. Okay. And everything was going on in one chord. Everything was good. We broke bread with some of them, not literally like eating, but we broke bread spiritually with certain scriptures we would go over with, and we would talk. Then down the line, brothers had a certain agenda that, to me, that they wanted to push other things, more and more things. And then at first I was like, I don't know that, because certain things that they did have, it was right. Like America is we being scattered everywhere in America. And America is not the only place that's Babylon. Wherever we at, our people are being oppressed. Okay. But mostly, you can see our people being oppressed here in America, but it's not, our people is not just being oppressed here. It's being oppressed everywhere. London, the Vatican, the three unclean spirits. Okay. Rome, Vatican. Okay. Washington, D.C. Okay, these are all places where our people are scattered abroad, and we being oppressed. Okay, so then the next thing they went into something else. They keep went into something else, and due time, you will start seeing like things like these brothers start reaching for things that's not contrary to the scriptures. Okay. So that's why I say you want to know what a man is about or teach you about. When you start getting up in age in this, or the Most High start opening your mind to different things, he'll start, showing you different things like what was other men's agenda. I always say, if you really want to know how brothers is, act overly meek, and you'll see these niggas will run all over you. Then when they feel like you can't do what you want them to do, or you're not on board with them, you're no longer this brother no more. Okay? Now, the funny thing is about it, it's the same thing that they were barking about. We all were barking about how the teachers that we was under was doing us. And we doing the same thing. But our first campaign that we first came out with and that we was huffing and puffing about, it was like how the teachers was doing us wrong. We all was doing that. And now some have shown their true colors. Their true light, and that light is in of Yahweh. That light is of the tradition of men, okay, or commandments of men. Let's go to Titus chapter 3, verse. Where was he at? 2 Timothy 3:13. 2 Timothy 3:13, and it says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But they say unto us, but continue thy in, who's speaking here? Timothy. But it says, but continue thy in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of knowledge and has been assured of knowing, Shalakia, knowing of whom they has learned them. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through the faith which is in Mashiach Yahweh. Right, because I've been noticing too, a lot of brothers, man, they think they're studying, they think they're learning by watching videos. And then you're not studying and you're not mastering this, and you're not kissing the sun by getting another man's breakdown, and then you spitting it out, what he gave you. Are you doing the research for yourself? The Church of Berea. Okay? That's why the Church of Berea was so special, because the Church of Berea took all things and broke it down. It's not always going against your instructors who you once taught. Now, you could disagree with certain things that they've done, you know what I'm saying, that we don't agree with. But now, don't try to change the whole book to set you something new in Israel, like you coming up with this. But then when somebody else comes up with the shield or their enlightenment, it ain't good because you don't see it. What type of junk is that? You know, you don't deal, to me, you don't deal with men like that. Because that, in other words, that's telling you that your precepts and your research that you do is nothing. Okay? Touching on the topic of the shield. Okay? Touching on the topic of a symbol. Touching on the topic of the 6 hexagram, the 6-pointed star, whatever you call it. We call it the shield of Yahweh. Okay? But we do research and we had archaeological evidence. But at the same time, these men will tell you what you're doing is off. But you did the research. This thing that you do is the research for yourself. Okay? It ain't the research that a man said him and his camp, they did all the breakdowns. They write it down in the chart and then they send it to you. And then you feed it and then send it to your chart. Send it to your camp. You don't do that. And any man that's in a camp that doing that, you don't fuck with him, man. You don't deal with a man like that. And that would go for whoever's the leader of you because you're not learning for yourself. Monkey see, monkey do. And your house, I ain't dealing with a man like that. That doesn't show scholarship. That doesn't show intelligence. That shows Simon says do this, nigga, and you doing it. Where's your own mind? Where's your thinking? Where's your part in kissing the son? Where's your research to examine that what they came up with, what you gonna come up with? That's studying. And another thing, you don't have to teach and be on board of what somebody else is teaching. You feed your body. Okay, you if you're a leader of a camp, you're responsible for your body. You know, how can another man in another body be from across seas or wherever he's at be responsible for your body? All right, and teach you, and you the leader of your camp. All right, that's not scholarship. That's not learning. That's not doing the precepts. That's not doing the research. That is not doing the work. That's not laboring for yourself. You being hand-fed from other people, but you ain't doing it for yourself. Anybody can write down a couple of precepts and stuff like that, and they precepts could be going off. It could be from another topic, and it doesn't mean that the precepts or what they're talking about is in that context. We're supposed to be growing from boys to men, not men still being boys in the mind and the spirit and not reading for ourselves. That's like another man having a family and he telling you what to do in your family. Another man ain't supposed to tell you what to do in your own home, your own household. Direct your own household. The Lord is direct your own household. But if he has some good stuff and he has some good if he have some good ideas and it's spiritual to the book, yeah, you could take that and you could run with it. You know what I'm saying? You could use it to help your house shine better and the things in your house shine better. You know what I'm saying? But not when he start trying to tell you your wife, how she should be. You know what I'm saying? How your kids starting to be, how you should be. This is how you doing in your family. Nah, your wife is your business and that's how you run with your house. That nigga don't tell you can't go to that nigga house and tell him how to run his house. And you niggas is like that. That's the same thing when you niggas is in different camps. You know what I'm saying? You let a nigga come here and turn around and say, you need to paint this house. I don't like this color white. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but he's the head of my camp. I gotta let him say what he's saying. That's not being a man, man. And Yahweh, you have to be bold. Hold on. I respect your teaching and stuff like that. That's right. But hold on. You got nothing to do with my house. Because if you follow on the Yahweh, what this nigga gonna tell you about your own house? I like to say what a Tahar always say, which I love. He says this part. He says that you niggas that come in here, you brothers, excuse me, because some of y'all are soft. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say, oh, look at what they're calling. You know what I'm saying? But you brothers that come in here, he said you're supposed to be learning how to eat off your own plate. Make your own plate. Now, I'll give you the forerun. This scriptures will be the forerun, like the Lord was the forerun to bring you into something higher, which is the Yahweh Shah. He would be the forerunner, the teachers, to bring us to a better understanding of the scriptures. But that's it. That's it. Now let's go back.